Okay, so in this video you're going to watch me adjust the settings here in VideoPsalm. Now it gets a bit buggy sometimes and it's still a work in progress, but I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible for you to follow. And some of the changes here, I'm going to be making them to fix a lot of the quirks that I find come with the default settings in VideoPsalm. So this is what we're going to work with. The first thing I'm going to do is just clear all settings that may have been made in the past. So I'm going to delete all style attributes and clear everything. Also clear the style attributes at the base level as well. So that way we have plain black background and it's just as good as new. No settings, no styles are in place. So we're going to begin by making changes at the base level. In fact, most of the changes we're going to make will be at the base level. So every other level will inherit these settings at the base level. So what I'm going to do first is adjust the font style. Ensure base level is selected and we have body text, body style there. Then I'll set the font style to Franklin Gothic medium right there. The next I'm going to activate is automatic word wrap. So I click there and the words are automatically wrapped. After that, I don't quite like how the words, the block of text kind of hugs the ceiling there, so I want to center it vertically, and you do that by coming to this button here, vertical alignment, and select middle. The next thing I want to do is adjust the width. I don't want the text touching both ends. I want to add a margin. So to do that, I'm going to come over here and click on this button to display the resize rectangle, and right away notice there's a rectangle displaying here on the screen. Now it's a full rectangle, but because the text is touching both ends, the other ends of the rectangle are not visible. So we'll adjust that. Ensure you have body style selected and you're still at the base level. So I'll open the Styles Explorer just by clicking on that little button there, or this one. Now that we have the Style Explorer open, ensure you are at the header menu, the header level there. Just expand that and then come over here. These values here contain the values of the rectangle. You can also move over here to adjust the rectangle manually. Just move over here till you get that icon, that cursor, and just resize it. And notice as I resize it, okay, this is the header rectangle, so I have to be at the body. Sorry about that. Now when I resize it, notice the values change accordingly over here. So what I want to do is center this to the middle. So now what do these values mean? The first two values represent the position of the rectangle, both the horizontal position and the vertical position. Now this first number here, 764, represents the position of the rectangle when I move it from left to right. Now notice as I move it from left to right, it's changing, while the second value here represents the position of the rectangle when I move it vertically from the top to the bottom. So when I move from top to bottom, notice it changes. You see that? Then these two values here represent the size of the rectangle. This is the width and this is the height. So that 9099 is the width of the rectangle. I just want to keep it at 9000. I'm trying to work with simple round figures here. So 9000 should be the width, and the height can be 8000. 8000 is okay for the height. Yeah, that's fine. Now here we need to adjust the position. So for the X position, the width there. Now the reason why we have the width here at 9000 is because from one end to the other is a total of 10,000. So I'm removing 1000 to make it 9000. So I'm going to split that 1000 into two to give us 500. So that's what I'm going to place I'm going to type in here. That way we're able to center it exactly. 500 here, 500 units here, and we're centered. The same here with the vertical alignment. I'm going to also type in, now here we put in 8,000 because but although in reality from the top to bottom is also 10,000, but since we put in 8,000, there's a difference there of 2,000. So I'm going to split 2,000 also to give us 1,000, and that way we are also properly aligned in the middle there. So with that done, I don't think there's any other change I need to make. So I'm going to turn that off and apply it. Just click save. So now when I change okay, now we're having that issue because the Bibles have their own personal settings. They made their own personal settings. So I'm just going to clear the property values there. Just clear that, because at the base level we already have our settings in place. So now these settings should stay because we don't have any other settings interfering. All right, so there, right there, it works. Now we'll do the same for the header. I'm just going to come back to the base level. Those are some of the that's one of the bugs with VideoPsalm, and I wish and hope that they fix. So we'll do the same for the header. I'm just going to select header style here. I don't like it showing up at the right side. I want it in the middle as well, and the text a bit larger. So what I'm going to do is come over here, ensure it's okay. I'm just going to click on that rectangle and then come over here and center the text. So now our verse number is centered. I'll also align it to middle. Then we'll come over to the header panel under the style menu, and we'll also play with the values here of the rectangle, just like we did with the body. I'm going to make it 9,000 and center it horizontally by 500. For the height, for the vertical position, I'm going to try 500. Okay, that's a bit too low. Let's see, 100. Yeah, 100 is fine. The height, we don't need any changes there, so I'll just keep it that way. Then I'll also adjust the size of the text to 42. Oh, let's see, 45, 50. Okay, 50 is fine, and that's very legible. That's legible enough. Now it may change as well because VideoPsalm may have appropriated these settings to the Bible's level. So when I switch now, you notice it switches back. So to fix that, we already have our settings at the base level. Now that's the bug I'm talking about. So I'm going to come over here and select Bibles, and notice we have this icon showing up, which means the Bibles adopted their own settings. They retained their old settings. So I'm just going to clear these icons here, and we are back to what we did already. Now the other levels don't have their own mind, as it were, so this setting should remain. That's fine. That's just fine. The next thing we're going to fix is the footer style. I just want to adjust it as well. So I'll click here to activate the footer, and it's already centered. Then I'll come over here and set it to middle. Oops, we're working at the Bible verse level. That's wrong. So I'm just going to clear all settings at the selected level. Okay. Then I'll come to base. At the base level, ensure our footer is selected. Then come over here, set it to middle. Then we'll adjust the size of the text, make it 50. That's fine. Select footer down here and adjust it. So here we're talking about we're looking at the position. So I'll just make it okay. Before we come over there, let's just set this to 9,000 and the horizontal position to 500, just like we did before. Then the width 700. Is that fine? Yeah, I think we're not touching that. Let me see how we did it in the header. Yeah, 700 was fine. So this was 500, 100, 9,000 and 700. And for the footer, 500, 9,000. Okay, 9,100, 9,500. Okay, I'll make it 9,400. Okay, 9,200 is fine for the footer position. So you can also apply these settings in your own copy of VideoPsalm, and of course the setting wouldn't seem to stay. Okay, this time it stays because we already cleared the level out there at the Bible verse level. So at the base level we already have our settings in place. Now the last thing I'm going to do here, or rather it's one of the last few things, is change the background. So I think we're done with this. I'm just going to come to the background, ensure we are at the base level, and set the background image. So since we can't exactly fix that over here, I'm just going to close the styles menu. We're done with it. Then come to the background tab, ensure base is selected, and set the default background. Kind of like the flower here. Okay, so I'll work with the flower. I'm just going to turn off the rectangle, the display rectangle. Now the next thing I'm going to do is adjust the backgrounds for songbooks and Bibles. So we want to have different backgrounds for songbooks. Now so far what we have done, we've made changes at the base level. So now I'm going to make individual changes for the songbook and the Bibles. Now when I make changes here, it's going to affect every other thing. Whatever changes I make here will also affect every other thing. Although the Bibles will inherit some of the other properties of the base. Properties like the text style, the font style. It remains Franklin Gothic medium. So those ones we're not going to change. The only thing we're changing is the background. So at the songbooks level, I'm changing the background to this purplish motion background. So now that I select any song, when I select any song, it runs with that purplish background. But for Bibles, I haven't set any background yet, so it's going to come back to the default floral background, but we're going to change that as well. So for Bibles, let's see if we can use this. So I'm going to come to Bibles at the Bibles level this time and click there. So this is what we have for Bibles, and that's fine, and it's perfect. It looks perfect already. So we can switch verses and all, and we have our Bibles.